बोलना। Namaste, myself Dr. Amit Singh, Yes Vyasa Yoga University, Bangalore. Today we are going to discuss about the theory and practice of pranayama and deep breathing exercise. So what is our ancient system of medicine, means yoga and Ayurveda, they told about this pranayama. So our aim and objective is swasthrakshanam aturasya vikar prashmanam, how to maintain the health of healthy person and destroy the disease of the patients. So we work on the two way. First one is the prevention and another one is the management. So for the prevention, what is the role of deep breathing and pranayama? How it works? If we will go for the three step, first is the relax the body, second is the slow down the breath, third one is the calm down the mind. So in the breathing, what is the role of relax the body? So we should go for the what are the muscles involved for the breathing. So abdominal muscles, thoracic muscles and clavicular muscles and diaphragm muscles. So first we should relax these muscles. For the abdominal muscle relaxation, we have the abdominal breathing, which works on the lower part of the lobe. Second one is the thoracic breathing, which works on the middle lobe of the lungs. Third one is the clavicular breathing, which works on the upper part of the lobe. So here we can synchronize the brain, breath and body. During the inhalation, you should bulge the abdomen. During the exhalation, suck the abdomen. This is the way of abdominal breathing. Second one for the thoracic breathing, during the inhalation, expand the chest. During the exhalation, contract the chest. Third one is the clavicular breathing. During the inhalation, raise your clavicular muscles. During the exhalation, come down. And in these practices, it's not only the physical practice, just you do the body movement with the breathing. Do it with the awareness, do it with the relaxation. During the inhalation, when you inhale, feel the cool air is going from both the nostrils, then it goes to the trachea, it goes to the lungs. And from the lungs, it goes to the blood, and from the blood, it goes to all the cells. So during the breathing also you can do this meditation. Just be awareness. Breath, this is the pranayama is a wakeful, conscious, slow, deep abdominal breathing. Whatever breathing we are doing, if we will do it with the awareness, with the slowness, with the expansiveness, that is the pranayama. So here I am going to tell you about the 5-minute practices which helps us in the prevention also, in the management also. Nowadays this COVID-19 virus, this is going on. So for that, first 1 minute Kapalbhati. The Kapalbhati is a Sodhan pranayama, detoxification pranayama. So Kapalbhati 1 minute, 60 stroke per minute. Kapalbhati is the exhale, actively exhale and passive inhalation during the flapping of abdomen. So if anyone is having the hypertension, anyone is having the coronary artery disease, bypass surgery, or they are having the stent, for them it is advisable 40 stroke per minute. So first one is the Kapalbhati, detoxification, this pranayama, Sodhan pranayama. And what are the benefits of the Kapalbhati? When we do the Kapalbhati, we exhale actively, active exhalation. Due to the active exhalation, we wash out the CO2. When the CO2 we wash out, then oxygen level has gone in the blood. So it helps into the two way. In the pulmonary respiration, when we wash out the CO2 level from the lungs, then it helps in the cellular respiration also. Pulmonary respiration means gaseous exchanges between the alveoli and the blood vessels. When we wash out the CO2 from the lungs, so it sucks from the blood vessels, and the blood vessels it suck from the cells. So we can wash out from the cells to the blood vessel, from blood vessels to the lungs, and from the lungs it goes to the environment. In the same way, we increase the oxygen saturation, and the oxygen consumption is slowed down when we are doing the deep breathing. And at the same time, Kapalbhati improves the blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, which works as an inhibition or instinct action. So through that we are getting the mastery over our instinct action also. Means through the cerebral cortex, it's connected with the limbic cortex, which is the seat of emotion, and through that the hypothalamus, and it goes to the HP adrenal axis. So Kapalbhati helps in the stress management also, to get the mastery over the mind, and it also helps in the detoxification of the CO2. When the CO2 goes down, our breathing center is the medulla oblongata, which gives the deeper rest to that. The second practice, after the 1 minute of Kapalbhati, second minute is the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama or Anulom Vilom Pranayama. The Anulom Vilom Pranayama is the alternate nostril breathing. It is called as Nadi Suddhi, means it cleanses the channels. Means after the cleansing of the nasal tract, we are going to cleanse our lungs, because this virus, coronavirus, it affects the respiratory system. And if we will think about the mode of infection, so here we have the inhalation through the nose only, it will go inside. So detoxification for the nose, we are doing the Kapalbhati. If we will go to the from cross to subtle, if we will go to the organ, we will go to the lungs, how we can purify the lungs. To purify the lungs, we are doing the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing, and we detoxify our whole lungs. And this Nadi Suddhi Pranayama, as you know, there is a lot of research has done. Our right nostril is a predominant of sympathetic nervous system, and our left nostril is predominance of parasympathetic nervous system receptors. Means sympathetic and parasympathetic receptors are predominant in our both the nostril, right side which is called as Pingala, and left side is Jaina Nadi. So right side sympathetic and left side parasympathetic. When we are doing the Nadi Suddhi Pranayama with the awareness, if we are doing the same Nadi Suddhi Pranayama or Anulom Vilom Pranayama without awareness, so we are not getting that benefit. If we are doing it with the awareness on the nostril, awareness on the tip of the nose, feel the coolness of air, feel the hotness of air are coming out. So we are balancing the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and we are giving a deeper rest to the autonomic nervous system. In the one way, it helps in purification of the lungs. Another, it balances both the Ida and Pingala Nadi, and it gives a deeper rest to the autonomic nervous system, by which this pranayama, if we are doing it with the awareness, means we want brain, breath, body synchronization. There is a stretch receptors in the interstitial tissue of the lungs. These stretch receptors are directly connected with the medulla oblongata. If these stretch receptors are highly sensitive, so they send the message to the medulla oblongata, and they started the air emergency, they started the hyperventilation, so breathlessness was so fast. So by this pranayama, if we will do with the brain, breath, body, how our body is connected, if we will do it with the awareness, with the slowness, so we can get the mastery over these reflexes, we can desensitize these reflexes, which helps in the bronchodilation. Third one, we discuss about the Brahmari Pranayama. This Brahmari Pranayama, we are producing the humming sound, honeybee sound. After the inhalation, we are producing the sounds. Means through this sound, through this resonance, through this vibration, we want to bring the awareness on the lungs. We can feel the awareness which helps in the bronchodilation and helps in the detoxification at the level, means we are creating the sound to cleanse the system through the sound system. And there is one research on this pranayama, on the humming sound. It increases the nitric oxide in the paranasal sinuses, on the paranasal sinuses, and when it increases the nitric oxide, which helps in the which helps as a immune booster, which helps in the prevent the infection also, this paranasal sinus, when it increases the nitric oxide. So when we are doing all these practices, we are going to prevent us from the infection, from the virus, from the bacteria, because the mode of this one is the our inhalation. And the same Brahmari Pranayama helps as it is called as a Laya Pranayama. It helps in the meditation also. It improves our lung function and meditation. So third practice, we should take the resolve, sankalp, affirmation for a 1 minute, which boost, enhance our immune system. And fifth minute in this practice is a silence. Just be in the silence and feel the changes, observe the changes. So if we will summarize the whole thing, here I am going to give you the 5 practices for 5 minutes, which you can practice every 1 hour or 2 hours at your home at any time. First practice is Kapalbhati for 60 stroke, who is having the hypertension and cardiac disease, for them 40 stroke per minute. Second practice, Nadi Shodhan or Anulom Vilom Pranayama. Third practice is a 1 minute Brahmari. Fourth practice, take a resolve, which boosts your immune system. And fifth practice is a silence. So what is the role of immune system? What is the role of yoga on the immune system? There is a publication, we have the research data, where the reverse expression of gene inflammatory reaction. We have the publications which reverse the expression of gene which involves in the inflammation. And how it works? It works as the down regulation of NF-kappa B pathway, nuclear factor kappa B pathway. How it down regulates the pro-inflammatory markers like TNF alpha, IL-1, IL-6. After down regulation of this, it reduces the risk of inflammatory disease. So there is a proven pathway for the psycho, neuro, endo, immunology. How from the psychological things, how this psychological stress at the level of prefrontal lobe, how it influences the cerebral cortex, the limbic cortex, and come to the hypothalamo-pituitary axis, and from the hypothalamo-pituitary axis, means from the pituitary comes to the adrenal gland, and there is a stress hormone, adrenaline or adrenaline, and there is a proven fact is there when the participants, the people who is practicing the yoga, they are reducing the stress, they are reducing the inflammatory markers which involve in the pro-inflammation like TNF and this one. After this controlling the pro-inflammatory markers, there is a changes, reduction in the C-reactive protein, in the CRP, and after that there is a changes in the ESR level also. So by these practices of the 5 minute practices, we can prevent ourselves. All the suggestion given by the government, this one, don't do the handshake and you prevent yourself. So that is the one part, how we can prevent our body from the viruses, what are the action we want from the body, from the inside. So these are the few practices, Kapalbhati, Nadi Shuddhi and Brahmari, which helps in the detoxification, like Kapalbhati, we blow the air, we blow out the viruses. Second level, at the level of lungs, through the help of Nadi Shodhan. Third is the Brahmari, which improves nitric oxide in the paranasal sinuses and help and work as an antioxidant. Third one. Fourth one, the meditation with the resolve and silence, which helps in the reducing the stress level, because a lot of people are having the anxiety of this disease. They are stressed of this disease. This stress uh, causes this stress our immune system. It reduces the immune system. So how we can improve, energize our immune system? So with the help of yoga and pranayama, what I explain you, this pathway, down regulation of NF kappa pathway, and then the TNF alpha, IL1, IL6, then it goes to the CRP and ESR level and it causes this one. And there is one another publication what I found, the IFN gamma. IFN gamma is the immune booster. So there is a publication after the practicing of yoga and meditation, they found the IFN gamma has increased. So thank you very much. Namaste. Please do this practice and